भाई, हरि दुख हरे जो हरि शरण आए। हरि दुख हरता, हरि सुख करता, हरि हरि हर नाम जपना। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे राम, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण।
Hi everybody, this is Nitin Soni here, and I want to welcome all of you to this special interactive session that I am about to have with a very special guest today. The guest that I have today is His Holiness Bhakti Arjava Priti Vardhan Swami. The man that I'm about to introduce to all of you, this man is born and brought up in Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia. And today he's an ISKCON devotee for the past 3 decades. Now, when I had an interaction with him, the moment I met him, I got inspired. And I couldn't restrict this inspiration to myself, and hence this interaction for you. In this interaction, we're going to understand him. We're going to know more about his life. We're going to understand ourselves in the process. And I am sure that you and me, we're going to get answers to some of the most pressing questions that we have in our life about a lot of things. So what are we waiting for? Join me as I introduce you, and I welcome the one and only, as I said, His Holiness Bhakti Arjava Priti Vardhan Swamiji to the program.
Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be here with you today, and then we can have some nice conversation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Swamiji, for choosing to be here, sparing
Hare
your
Krishna.
time, and coming here today to share your thoughts. I'm really excited, and I'm sure everybody who will be watching this interaction, they are excited right now to see both of us in this conversation. The first thing that I want to ask you is, how do people react when you meet? You've been here in India for a long time now.
Mhm.
You have devoted your life to this Krishna consciousness movement, ISKCON, and the Vedic culture, the work that you are doing around this Vedic culture. When you meet people here in India, what is it when you see them? How do they react to somebody from a Western world now completely devoted to the Vedic culture? How do they react when they see you?
Well, I had never had any like a negative reaction. It was always positive, but sometimes it's just like a neutral. But people are interested to know. That's
Just
what
like
I
me.
like.
Just
yes,
like me.
yes. I like on Indians because they are very eager to know.
Yeah.
So
Do you see them shocked? Do you see them the reaction in their eyes? Is it like a bit shocking? And are you able to perceive that, or is it like do you really mean that they take it pretty normally?
no, sometimes they are shocked.
They're shocked.
No, sometimes yes.
And how about the Western world? When you go to a Western country, and there when people see you, because they see you as one among them from this community, and when they see you in these clothes, when they see you how you are today, how do they react?
Also, they may be surprised. They those who know a little bit about India, then they may come, they inquire, they see the shoes. So no, they ask about the shoes. It's especially ladies, kind of like even no, they watch, so they know. We had once I was in Europe with a few of our boys, and we were walking on the road, and on the same pathway, just opposite to us, there were a few teenagers walking very loud and making noise. And when they saw them, just quiet.
Okay.
Then we go and we pass them,
Mhm.
and we are passing things like and they look and wow, did you see Shaolin monks? So some see us like that,
Yeah.
some see us as Buddhists, no.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't recollect any negative reaction.
I see.
And especially nowadays, people dress any way they want.
True.
So nobody really cares about how dressed you are.
True, true. So, Swamiji, I want to ask this. What inspired you, or what was this turning point, if I may call it, happened in your life? And at what point in time when you chose to have this complete shift in your life? Because I'm sure, I'm just hoping that you weren't born in a family wherein people were ISKCON devotees, or
No.
no. So what happened and what prompted you to
Okay.
become who you are today?
Well, I was studying, and when I was studying university, then I started to look for meaning of my life.
Okay.
So I think everybody does that to
Yeah.
some extent.
True.
So with a few boys there, we were just studying various books, various philosophies, and then thinking kind of like, what is the right one
Mhm.
to explain my purpose here in this world?
Okay.
And studying some of those, then I had seen, there was a mention of Bhagavad Gita,
Okay.
but I didn't take much of it
Mhm.
because I didn't know anything about Bhagavad Gita, but just remember that. Then as time went, so a few months later, then I came across to some devotees, and they were distributing books, and among the Bhagavad Gita. But I didn't approach, really. No, just didn't have no need at that time.
Mhm.
But I knew that they are having some restaurant. That was in Prague, which is the capital of Czech.
Yeah.
And as a student, then I had to buy my food. It was,
Yeah.
but once I was hungry, and I said, okay, let's go and try that. Because I also planned to get the Gita from, I know they are selling there. So went there, and then going, hey, and get to see what they have as a, for prasad.
Mhm.
So I inquired, can I have some prasad? Yes, okay. Now how much it costs?
Okay.
First thing, right? I said, whatever you want.
Okay.
What? Well, okay. So as a student, and like, this excellent. So I took, and I could have taken as much as I want.
Okay.
So, and no extra. So for me, it was like a deal breaker.
Yeah.
It was something, and it was delicious.
Mhm.
So I got addicted to it,
Mhm.
and I was going every day, there for prasad. Even though it took me, it was 45 minutes, by metro one way.
Mhm.
Prague is not so big city, but it's on the opposite side, so it was time,
Mhm.
but it was worth.
Mhm.
And eventually, I got close to the devotees. I was starting to read the book,
Mhm.
and I liked the philosophy, and I liked the devotees.
Okay.
So, and it was my last year on university.
How old you were, and
At that time, actually, I was 22,
okay.
and that was the last year. So I got then closer with them, and eventually I was staying there for some time, helping them.
Mhm.
And holidays came. Then that was already 92.
Mhm.
And with one of the devotees, then we decided maybe let's go and see what the India is all about.
Okay.
So we made a journey to India.
Okay. 92.
It was 92, yes. Yeah.
So that was the first time you came to India.
It was the first time, yes.
So before that point in time, so was there any perception about India? You heard about India?
I have heard about India, something. I have studied something.
Okay.
No, but it wasn't much.
Okay.
No, I like to discover things,
Yeah.
so I want to see it just for real how it is.
Right. Wow. So this is interesting. 22-year-old getting intrigued by some devotees. They were ISKCON devotees?
They were ISKCON devotees,
I
yes.
see. Yeah. So you had prasad. And friends, ये हम सब जानते हैं कि प्रसाद सिर्फ एक खाने की चीज नहीं है. प्रसाद कुछ तो कारण है कि प्रसाद कहा जाता है. और आप देखिए कि उस प्रसाद में क्या मिठास थी या what happened in that prasad, that here is a completely transformed person in front of us right now. And this is getting interesting for me, and I'm sure this is getting interesting for you as well. So I'm sure it must have been easy at that time, right? You must have caught a flight, booked your ticket, and you must have landed in India in a few hours.
Yeah, could have been.
No?
But see, as a student, and I just finished, didn't have much money.
Yeah.
So we tried to do it cheaper way.
Okay.
So we went by land.
By land.
Yes.
Wow. And I mean, tell us a little bit more about that.
So we traveled from Prague, by train
Okay.
to Istanbul, to Turkey.
Okay.
Then we crossed to Asia,
Mm-hmm.
and we went by bus to the Iran border.
Okay.
We crossed the border there. Then we went through the whole Iran, up to Pakistan. From Pakistan, we changed trains, buses, sometimes taxi. And from Pakistan we went all the way up to Lahore
Mm-hmm.
by train.
Mm-hmm.
It was really far out because the train was there were no seats in the train. It was you have to put the luggages kind of like in the middle of the coach. It's separated into two. But we were sitting on our bags. And we were going through a desert. And it was hot. It was very sandy. But if you keep the windows closed, and it's unbearable, if you keep them open, all the dust comes, and that dust goes everywhere. So that's what I remember from the journey.
Unbelievable.
It
That's
was 36 hours the train in Pakistan.
So at no point you thought of giving up on this journey? Because I'm
No.
sure it must have taken you many days.
No, we were prepared. It was 11 days.
11 days. 11 days. And a lot of people are not willing to devote 11 hours of their life to satisfy their curiosity. Well, and it was all out of curiosity. You were
Yes, we wanted to-
curious.
yeah.
You were curious.
So we came to Amritsar.
Okay.
From Amritsar, train to Delhi, Delhi bus to Vrindavan. So that's what we were going for.
So that was the first time ever when you came to Vrindavan.
Yes, 92.
Okay, I'm just keen to know, what was there anything different that you felt when you were there in Vrindavan for the first time? Anything unique that you observed? What was your reaction or experience when you were there in Vrindavan for the first time in your life?
Well, first of all, then we were staying in one hotel in Delhi,
Okay.
and in that hotel, now we didn't know how to get buses or trains and anything like that much. No, so we asked, and the hotel said, "No, yeah, we will arrange bus. There is a bus going to Vrindavan.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's going early morning, and you'll be there by 9 o'clock."
Hmm.
I said, wow, that's something good.
Hmm.
So yeah, so they there were two of us, and they sat us in the front on the engine there. Just the first experience, and it was rattling. So anyway, so we were going Okay, 6 hours, 6 o'clock actually it started, so by 9 we'll be there.
Yeah.
And we are going, no, it's 9 o'clock. Where are we going? What's happening? And then we end up in Agra.
Oh.
And then, okay, now we have break, so you can go and everybody can go and see Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
We didn't want. We didn't know. We came for Vrindavan, so we just waited in the bus, but it was around. It was something like a tourist bus.
Yeah.
So sure enough, we came at 9 o'clock to Vrindavan in the evening. So anyway, the promise, they fulfilled their promise. Anyway, once we came, there was night, and the devotees were very accommodating, so they gave us room. We stayed there, and then it was very fine. It fulfilled my expectations.
I see.
And more.
I see.
It was very nice experience.
Very nice experience. Well, and Krishna.
Yes.
At what point? So, have you ever heard this name before, Krishna?
Yes, yeah. Once I was with the devotees, then we were reading from Bhagavad Gita, we were reading from Bhagavatam, we were chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that's I was already practicing.
Right.
So it was since 91. So like 1 year I was practicing.
Right. This is amazing. This is getting interesting for me. Fast forward today, after many years, almost 3 decades. How's your life? What do you do? How does your life look like?
Well, now I take care of a school, Bhaktivedanta Academy, which is a Gurukula in Mayapur. Mayapur is in West Bengal. It's near Navadvip, around 130 kilometers from Kolkata.
I see.
So there we have headquarters. This is our main temple, Radha Madhava Ashtasaki temple, Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. And there, part of the temple, then we have the Gurukula.
I see.
So over there, then I take care of children. So my daily program is basically getting up early morning. Then we chant japa with boys. We go for Mangalarati. Then we do puja for the Lord. We do yagya for the Lord.
So these boys that you're saying, they're Indian students?
It's international.
Oh, I see.
There are some Indians, there are some from all over the world.
What age group?
Youngest, it's 5.
Okay.
The eldest, 20, 25.
Okay. So it's a Gurukul.
It's a Gurukula. Yes.
And they learn the Vedic education there?
We teach according to the principles of the Vedic education.
Okay.
For us, the main scripture which we teach accordingly, it's Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
So
that is what you're doing now.
Yes. So, but they learn the philosophy. But besides the philosophy, then we teach also English. We teach math. That's must nowadays.
Yeah.
But they learn also skills. So they learn how to cook. They learn how to do yagyas, how to do puja. They learn how to play music, how to sing.
Okay.
We have cows. They learn how to take care of cows.
I see. So are we saying you are an Indian citizen now?
Yes, I have taken Indian citizenship.
Okay. So you are in India. I mean, you are now an complete Indian citizen.
Yes.
Wow, that is interesting. Now, I'm sure all of you, when you are listening to this conversation, I'm sure you're intrigued right now to hear his journey and to know about him, how he started his journey. You know, when the Almighty Krishna had something planned, when it's we always say it sometime, when he has what the plans that he has for you, if you choose to walk on those plans, then no journey is tough for you. and no environment is tough for you. Things start happening for you, and that's exactly what we are seeing here live in this interaction. Swamiji, I want to ask you this. So I mean, what is this experience now? The life that you live today, the work that you have devoted your entire life to. How does it feel? How do you feel?
I feel very happy because by nature I like to help people, and I see results by helping the boys. And when they grow up, I think many boys already grow up, so they getting into their own families. So that's something which is very rewarding for myself. So that's what I am. That's why I'm doing it.
And you lived a brahmachari life, and now you are a sannyasi. Never got married, and you live a complete sannyasi life now.
Yes, yes.
I want to ask you this. Now when I'm looking at you, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I want to explore this side of life. But there's something that stops people like me. What stops us is maybe our commitments to our family, to our kids, to the parents, to the work, to the business, to the job. It stops us from taking that bus that you took back then. We take that prasad, and it is as sweet as it possibly can be, but still we are unable to step ahead and sit on that bus and say, I'm going to go to Vrindavan, I'm going to experience this side of life. Something that stops people. I want to ask you this. What is it that stops them? And why are a lot more people like me, like us, not able to experience this peace, this happiness, this satisfaction that I see on your face right now? What stops us?
See, people get stopped doing what they want to do. People get conditioned by attachments.
Yeah.
So you said you have commitments.
True.
So okay, that's true. You have commitment towards your family. You have commitment towards your job. You have commitments. But why did you commit to it? You want something out of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's fine. You can do that. But then you should have plans. What are you going to do for your life, in your life? There is a certain period of life which you should dedicate to learning, studying, right? Being trained.
Yeah.
In Varnashrama system, it's called brahmachari. So there are boys, and they are they are learning.
Yeah.
Then they they take a vow for a certain period of time. They will be just learning. In Gurukula, under the teacher, or they may have some other ways, but it's a learning. They should be protected. They should be taken care of. They are children, and they should be given the space to learn. Once they fulfill their vow, which can be, okay, you may say, I'll take vow being a brahmachari for 12 years, which is the standard. So when he completes his education, then he has a choice. And either he has the need to get into the next ashram, which is Grihastha ashram, or he may decide that I'm not going to get into Grihastha ashram. No, I don't want the job, I don't want the family, I don't need that. I'm actually happy, being the child as such, and I like to study and like to go preach, and then just that kind of life is good for me. So he may decide not to get married.
Okay.
So he may take up the vow of lifelong brahmachari. So he becomes Nashtika brahmachari.
Okay.
So, but most in my experience, 95% of the boys get married.
Right.
So it's not something unusual. Somebody gets married,
Yeah.
but it should be done properly.
Mhm.
Because good grihastha or good brahmachari makes a good grihastha.
I see.
The training must be there.
Right.
The boys must be trained to be able to take care of themselves, to properly protect. Because when they get married, they become the gurupatis.
Hmm.
They must lead.
Yeah.
If they don't lead, the wife will not respect them.
True.
And if she doesn't respect them, then what's going to happen? No, she will want to take care of things herself. No, and then you have problem because the man, it's no need. But the man, should be proper gurupati. And then if he is, she will respect him, and then she can follow. So that's the need for training the boys to be good brahmacharis, so then they become good grihasthas. But the grihastha ashram, it's for 25 years. You live together, you have children, but the children, after they grow up, so then they can take care of themselves.
Mhm.
They can take care also of the mother if needed.
Mhm.
And you can go and you can, take vanaprastha, take sannyas.
Mhm.
That's meant for little austerity. It's meant for studying, practicing spiritual life. So at the beginning, you practice spiritual life. Then you focus more on the social activities. But at the end of your life, again, you should practice spiritual life. So then you can get fully focused on Krishna consciousness.
Okay, that is again very interesting for me. This has been a very interesting discussion so far, an introduction with you. You said students from, when we were talking about the ashram, the Gurukul, you said students from 5-year-old, right, starting age is 5-year-old, they come and they stay in that ashram, in that Gurukul, and they learn. How does their day look like? I'm sure they, just like us, they wake up at 7, 8 p.m. and then get ahead with the day. How does their day look like?
See, in the ashram, we have the elder boys, they stay in the ashram.
Mhm.
The younger ones, they come during the day.
Mhm.
It's like a day school.
Mhm.
So at that time, they come at 5, but the boys in the ashram, then they wake up at 3 o'clock.
3 a.m.
Yes, 3 a.m. Yes.
Okay.
Then take bath
Okay.
and chant japa.
Okay.
Then we go to the temple for Mangalarati.
Okay.
Then we come back
Okay.
and then we do the puja for our deities.
Mm-hmm.
We do the yagya for our deities.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the meantime, then the smaller boys, they come from their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So they come into the school. And we have assembly.
Mm-hmm.
And after the assembly, then we start our classes.
So are they also learning mathematics, science, this modern education?
We have mathematics.
Okay.
Though we don't follow any specific Indian curriculum. We have our own ways, our own curriculum. And so they from the academics, they are learning math, English, Sanskrit is there.
But why do you think there is this need to have a separate curriculum? Everybody here in India, in their school system, they are learning physics and chemistry and social science and mathematics and all of that. And that's how everybody's learning. That's how I've learned. And you said there's a different curriculum there.
Yes.
In the ashram. Why there is a need to have this different curriculum? What's missing in our education?
First of all, there is no need 12 years of learning just academics. We want the boys to learn in very short period, and because we want to dedicate more time to teach them philosophy, teach them other subjects like astrology, astronomy, whatever they may be interested in. And therefore we are focusing on that we want to teach them the academics before that. So the Indian curriculum doesn't really have that option. You are supposed to go for 12 years to the school, and no, they don't even teach you properly. Their focus is so you pass the exams. Even they have tuitions. Tuitions, what they're coaching you how to answer questions. No, you are not even encouraged to learn. You are encouraged to know how to pass the exam. That's all.
True.
But that's not what education is about. Education has 3 levels. In Sanskrit, Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. So Shravanam is the acquiring the knowledge. So what do you get from studying the book or watching YouTube, or from the teacher, or from peers, from the parents, whatever you're acquiring the knowledge. And modern education then focuses on this point. They want you to know a lot. But it's not the only. What are you going to do with that knowledge? Education should teach you how to take this knowledge and you apply it in your life, which it doesn't really happen much in the modern education. It's a pity.
It is.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
Like, knowledge on its own, it's not enough. Knowledge has to be applied to become a realization. Gyan has to come into Vigyan. So you have to apply what you learn in your life and realize it. I know one person when I was studying, and he was able to memorize everything about ships from Second World War.
Okay.
You tell him what a ship, he will tell you everything about the ship. When it was commissioned, when it was, how many cannons, how many troops, everything he will tell you about it. But so what? What are you going to do about it? You can go to some quiz and maybe
Get a prize.
Get a prize there. But what's the point?
True.
What's the use?
True.
It's a great knowledge,
Yeah.
but useless.
Yeah.
So the school should encourage the students the second stage, mananam. Mananam means contemplation, or actually deliberation. You learned something, and now you are contemplating, how is it useful for me? How am I going to apply this in life? Example, you can say music. You can read so much about music. You can read books about sitar, right?
Yeah.
Can you play the sitar?
No.
No. So you can have so much of theoretical knowledge. You can be the expert, the topmost expert, but useless.
True.
So you need a teacher, and he will tell you how to apply the theory practically on the strings, and then you can play. So when you start playing, then you figure out that you don't know it. That's your realization. But you get some realization. See, the manana is about you start thinking, if I apply it this way, that may not work. If I apply it this way, it may work. Let's try it. So you tried it, and you get some result, You are happy? Oh, that's a good way to go. So again, you go, you get more Shravanam, more knowledge. Again, contemplate how am I going to apply it now? And you become better and better and better. And the cycle repeats. And then your realization is, so then you can be a perfect musician. You can go and then you can play sitar very well. You have the knowledge and you have also the realization. So that should be taught. This is what actually Vedic education does for the children. They encourage to contemplate on what you learn, so then you may come to the point of realization.
This is beautiful. This is absolutely incredible. Friends, right now, I went to a parent-teacher meeting in my kid's school the other day. And the interaction, the discussion with the teacher was the marks that the boy had scored in respective subjects. So the boy is good if he got good numbers, good marks, and is not so good if the numbers, the marks on the sheet is not good. Although he may have incredible knowledge, but just because he's not able to put that down on a piece of paper and write that the way the teacher wants him to write, not a good student. This is, I want to ask you this. What do you suggest? What needs to happen now in today's times, not just in India, probably everywhere, to implement and incorporate what you have suggested?
Well, India has it, right? I mean, I'm talking just Indian culture.
Yeah.
So what needs to be done? Just look at what you have. That's all.
And why is it so difficult then? Why are we not looking at
Because
what we already have?
Indians, they like to look at the West. What comes from the West? Oh, this is supreme, this is the best. What comes from India? Oh, this is something not good. It's very unfortunate. Indians, they have such a treasure. Your own culture. It's so incredible what you have. But you don't want to take it. Because to you, American is better. It's very unfortunate. So what needs to be done? Forget the American. Look at your own treasure. What do you have? The Shastra, the Vedas, they come from India. They are there. All you need to do, just read them. Study.
But it's getting, it is true. And it's somewhere in our heart we know it. Yes or no? Somewhere in our heart we know it. When we see the serial Ramayana on television, when we see Krishna, Mahabharata, when we see Krishna, talking about Gita, all the shlokas to Arjuna, we know it, that we have it in our culture, in our history, on this land. But as he rightly said, I think this realization is important. And probably this could just be the moment when all of us realize this. We have to hear it from somebody and let him be that person today to make you and me realize that we already have it. Yeah. Why are we turning our head towards what we already have? This incredible, enriching culture and history and texts, and we are looking at something else which is Western and trying to put a Western template on our education. Maharaji, I want to know this. I agree with you, and I'm falling short of words now. I agree with you. It's already there. So is it like the parents now have to take the responsibility? Is it the government that has to take the responsibility? Is it the education system that has to take the responsibility? Who has to take this responsibility to at least now educate the generation, the kids that are coming up now, to see we have Bhagavad Gita on the table right now. How many houses today have Bhagavad Gita in their bookshelf?
They may have the book, but they don't read it.
But they don't read it. Yeah. And I want to ask you questions on Bhagavad Gita as well. A quick thoughts on who needs to take this initiative? The government, the schools, the parents, the society? How's it going to happen?
You see, it's very complex because everybody has to, but ultimately it is up to the parents. They are responsible for their children. So what the parents decide that should happen with the children, then that's always the priority. That's what they must do. Now, who is training the parents to explain them what should be done for the children? There's nobody. Where is the training for the children if the parents want actually? No. Nowadays, there's nothing. Where are the boys being trained as a brahmacharis? No question. So that's a very sad state of affairs. There used to be something which is called the Varnashrama Dharma. Right? It's a system run in India and it's ancient, comes from the Lord. And based on that, everybody will be properly situated according to his ashrama, according to his varna. Now the problem, some people call it as a caste system, which, yes, there are two kinds of varnashrama. One is the Asuric varnashrama, which it's based on the caste system. You are born in certain caste, you are in that caste, you don't belong there, but that doesn't matter. No, you are, but you don't have the quality. We are not talking about that one. We are talking about Daivi varnashrama, in which the recognition goes to the people according to not how they are born, but according to their qualities. So, in every society, now you have somebody teaches. You have teachers, right? Somebody is to manage the state affairs or companies.
True.
Somebody has to produce the funds.
And we are fine with this form of this version of it.
Yeah. And somebody has to just do the rest, helping to manage everything to do. Now it depends on where you put the focus. What is actually your focus? And like we were talking about the realization. You have the knowledge, but how do you apply the knowledge? What is your goal? So previously the goal was the application of the knowledge towards God. So realizing my part in this world as a servant of God. Which way should I serve? How can I serve? According to my qualification, according to my mentality, according to my nature, how can I be engaged? That's the topmost. But nowadays, the focus is on how do I make money? Money becomes God. Because more money means more sense gratification. So I am satisfied with my senses, I don't need God. But does money make you happy?
Temporarily, momentarily, we need more of it. All the time.
So look, who is a rich person? Rich person is somebody, who has a lot of money. Is he rich? Could be, but it's a state of consciousness. A person is rich if he has enough.
True.
So if he has a lot of money and he has enough, he is rich. If he has little but he has enough, he is not trying to get more. He is rich. But the person who may have a lot of money and that's not enough, he wants more, he is poor. He, unfortunately, is poor, and he's trying to get. I know one person. He also worked hard. He became rich.
Mhm.
Then he was suffering. He was actually complaining. No, just since I became rich, then now I have to sleep, no, with a gun under my pillow because I don't know. Maybe somebody will come and try to take away those riches from me.
True.
So he just gave up on that. That anxiety wasn't worth.
True.
So it's a state of consciousness. If you are content with what you have, you are happy, you are satisfied, you can use it in your relationships, you are happy, live your life. But people want more because they want more sense gratification. But then they are working so hard, they don't have time even to enjoy the money. What's the use of such a life? And everything is so fast. They cannot even switch off. No, they eat, they have to talk on the phone. No, they do talk with somebody, talk with phone at the same time. No, they eat while driving. They don't have time to stop. And then so many diseases come.
Stress being the topmost.
What's the use of such a life? Previously, there was a study done that the average age increased. Fine. Okay. So people maybe were dying more when they are like in their 70s, now maybe 90s. Okay. Fine. So previously, then people would live up to 70
Yeah.
as an average. Now it's extended.
Mhm.
But in that research was also that previously they would die healthy.
Yeah.
So their quality of life, it's much higher, even though maybe shorter. But now we have people, by 30, most people have some problem.
Yes.
Some implants or some disease, some this, some that. And now many by bit later already have some problems with health. Now they have machines, they can keep you basically almost forever alive.
Yeah.
What kind of life is that? What happiness do you get from that? But it comes from the fast life, fast way how people are living. So which one brings more happiness? I have heard one incident happen. There was one Japanese guy, and he died when he was fixing his roof. Okay, which is okay, that happens. The far out thing on this, that he was 105.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine yourself going 105-year-old fixing your own roof?
No, practically impossible. Is the difference? Is indeed the difference. But is it also? Does it also have to do something with what we eat? Just curious, like what do you eat? What's super special foods you take?
It's about what you take, and it's about when you take it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that you are taking something which is nourishing for the body,
Yeah.
but it's for the mind and it's for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So we are taking only prasad.
Mm-hmm.
So what we eat, we offer to Krishna first. So it's pure vegetarian. We don't use any onion, garlic also.
Okay.
And we cook and we offer that prasad or the food, you can say, to Krishna first, and then prasad we take. So it's rice, dal, sabjis, or chapatis. No, there are many varieties of what you can have.
You mean normal dal, sabzi, roti is what you eat on a daily basis?
On daily basis, yes.
Okay. I'm sure everybody is observing this reaction on my face right now. And you know why, right? If you are an Indian, you know why. So without even me mentioning it, of course, stupid thing for me to even say it, but of course, no non-vegetarian food, even anywhere near, right?
No.
No. Because what I clearly remember here in India, when I was a kid, when I was a child, this non-vegetarian food was not as much in trend. Trend, I would say, as much as it is now these days. It's in passion for youngsters to eat non-vegetarian food, and if they don't eat it, it doesn't satisfy their taste buds. I don't eat non-veg, and I want to hear it from you, because here in India and in our culture, what we always knew it. Jaisa khao an vaisa rahe man. We all know it, and now I want to hear it from you. What do you want to say to people who eat non-veg, not because they need it, but because it tastes better?
No, as I said, it's a fashion. So the same thing now, what clothes they wear because it comes from the West, it's better. No. In the West, they eat like this. No, it's better. So it's the principle of that what's Indian is not good.
So dal, roti, sabzi, not good.
Not good. No.
Chicken, good.
Comes from the West, yes. So it's a misconception. It's a very pity. No, that way, then they cannot experience the heritage the Indians have.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that vegetarian food actually limits you to like what you can have. There are so many varieties. There are unlimited varieties now in what you can create. There are different cuisines, right? You have North India, you have Bengal, you have South Indian.
Yes.
No, and no, the creativity they have. There is no limits, and there is no shortage of any protein or anything like that. No, in vegetarian diet, so anybody can, just they don't want. No.
And they don't want because it doesn't has it. The approval of the West is missing on it. Yeah.
But in the West, they are also looking for Indian food. So, no.
Yeah.
The West, they are quite happy with that. But no, Indians are not.
So now that you know very well what prasad in the roti, sabji, dal is, when you were there in Czech Republic earlier, what food? I'm sure there you would eat everything.
There is a lot of potatoes, a lot of cabbage, a lot of vegetables as such, and they also have meat, but still more is the vegetables. Fruits limited. There are like apples, pears, prunes, but that's only during from late spring. You can get something already till late autumn, but winter you have to depend. So you have to have some preserves, or you have to keep your fruits. Nowadays you can get anything in the supermarket, so that there is no short. But you have to pay, and all these fruits from the supermarket, they are not really fruits. No.
What we have in India is, I think we are blessed. We are blessed to have it in our culture, in our blood. We are blessed to live here, to be born here. And let's get that. Let's get that in our head. What we eat, what our parents, our grandparents have been, the kind of life that they've been living, the food that they've been eating. Everything Western is not good for us. It's not good for us. And this conversation is going to put a stamp on a lot of ideas that that I know, but we need approval from somebody like him, and we must thank him for this. I have Bhagavad Gita here, and I want to ask you this: in the ashram, in the Gurukul, how important and integral Gita is a part of the curriculum?
Well, it's one of the main scriptures. So we have Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now those are the scriptures in which we follow. We now according to that we live.
So you said in the Gurukul, you have students from across the world.
Yes.
So these students who are coming from, the kids who are coming from abroad and who are getting this education here, the curriculum, they are learning Gita.
They're learning Gita, yes.
Okay.
They're learning Bhagavatam,
They're learning Bhagavatam.
yes, and they're learning from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
And that is interesting because we have a lot of Bhagavad Katha and part here, lot of camps, lot of times I hear it. There are billboards, there are banners, then there is Gita or here the Bhagavatam is going to be, they're going to be having these sessions on. But people run away from it. People don't want to be, except of course for elderly people, the younger generation runs away from it. They're not interested. This is not cool. And here is, again, it's abuse is what quite often in this conversation, I'm going to use it way more. Interesting for me to know that people from across the world is coming here to learn Bhagavad and Gita here. I'm sure you must have read Gita multiple times.
Yes.
But it's originally in Sanskrit.
It's originally Sanskrit, but the Gita which we have here right now is Bhagavad Gita as it is, and there were translations and the purport, which are the main, were written by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our founder Acharya of ISKCON Society. So those are the most valuable things. Like you are mentioning, that people go for Bhagavad Gita and they run away. Because what is it? I mean, they just read something, then we just talk a little bit, some pastime you can hear, you can see it on internet. But that's not the purpose of the teaching. So I'm not surprised they're running away. You cannot blame them. The scriptures, the Shastra should be taught, like we were saying, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhasanam. So when they teach the Shastra, it should induce them to think. So the thought or the teachings of the philosophy should be aimed for, so then the people can have some practical application. And who is doing that? And not that many people now who are taking it like that. Bhagavad Gita, now they talk about just 10th canto of Bhagavatam for 7 days, just how Krishna is enjoying with gopis. But that's not what Bhagavad Gita is. That's not what Shukadeva Goswami was talking about. He described whole Bhagavatam. But they are not interested. Either they don't want to talk about it. But if they explain Bhagavatam to the people such a way, so then they can start thinking about how am I going to apply it in my life? How is Bhagavatam going to make my life easier? And you will get more listeners.
True.
So, but that has to be spoken, then it's all about Vigyan, not Gyan.
That is correct. And I agree with you on this. I guess then it's not being taught the way as you expressed should be, not completely, which is true. Talking about Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, it originated from Krishna. And we say here, Krishna is God. A lot of people don't agree with this. They say Krishna is just one of the characters in the Mahabharata. He is not the Almighty, the ultimate, the God. I want to know your thoughts on this.
See, Krishna, he is Bhagavan. So he is complete in, he is the richest, he is the most knowledgeable, he is the strongest, he is the most austere, he is most beautiful, he is everything topmost. Now, of course, you see, like we see, I don't know, there is the series, the Little Krishna, and you can see a little bit there.
Yeah.
The demons, they don't see Krishna as a supreme. They want to see him as just a little boy.
Yeah.
But the little boy, he kills all the demons, right?
Yeah.
There is nobody who can compare to him.
Effortlessly.
So it depends on what you want to see.
Yeah.
It depends on, now, what is your desire? What you want. If you want to see things as it is,
yeah,
you will get the opportunity to see those things as they are.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the way, you have some interpretation, you have some angle, you want to see it like this, then okay, no, you are conditioned that way, and then you will see it that way. When Krishna, he is driving the chariot, Arjuna, he is sitting on the chariot, and he is the arrow already loaded, okay,
Yeah.
and he is pointing at someone.
Yeah.
That soldier, that enemy,
Yeah.
he is looking at Arjuna, he's looking at Krishna.
Yeah.
Now he knows he's going to die.
Yeah.
Now what is he going to think? If he is thinking about, wow, Krishna is so beautiful, or Krishna is excellent, anything, little bit,
yeah,
he thinks about some good quality of Krishna, that person, when he is going to die, then he is going to go to Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
If he maintains the enmity towards Krishna, then he gets moksha. He goes to Brahmajyoti. In either way, he benefits. Now, it's very difficult not to appreciate anything on Krishna. Nowadays, people, they don't want to appreciate. That's their choice. They will tell you, no, God is everywhere, but cannot be in the temple. I hear comments like this.
Yeah.
No. Or how is this world created, right?
Yeah.
So it can be Big Bang, or it can be some I don't know, string theory, or it can be so many ways they come up with how things are created, but it cannot be God. Mm-hmm. That we know for sure. Mm-hmm. We don't know how it's created, but it's not God. Mm-hmm. But if you look how things are organized in the nature, you have different species, how they live together, how different parts of the body are created. Can that be without intelligence? It's not possible if you really think about it. Just a simple thing, like, for example, eye, right? How eye is created, that it's so clear. Blood must be there, right? But blood is not clear. So just how is it nourished such a way so you still maintain the clarity, you still nourish the eye, and you can have the clarity of the vision. So it's a far out concept. How everything, the little details, into every detail, and the atom. Now how atom is running, and atoms together creates elements, and how they interact, It's all because Krishna is present in this world as a Paramatma. He is in everyone's heart. He is in every atom. That's why you see in microcosmos, and the atomic level, it works. The same thing now in macrocosmos. You see the planets, how they move. They move because of order of Krishna. But we don't believe it. No. Then what do you believe in?
A lot of times I hear people saying this, a question. But Krishna, we became aware of Krishna only in Dwapar, when Krishna took birth as an individual. But I'm sure there was God before that as well, before Krishna was born, right? So when Krishna wasn't born, there was no Krishna, as in the identity. So I just want to understand a little bit more on this.
See,
Because Krishna,
yeah,
in Dwapar, when he was born, only thereafter, this identity is what we are aware of. Okay, Krishna. But what about
Krishna, he manifests like that. Okay, you have different ages or different yugas.
Yes.
So we have Satya Yuga, we have Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
So for each of the yugas, Krishna appears, but he appears as a different avatar. So we have, he may appear himself, he may appear as an incarnation. He's God, it's up to him. So Ramachandra, he is there. Krishna is there. In this yuga, then the yuga avatar, then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Krishna himself. Krishna appears as a Dasha avatar. There are unlimited avatars.
Yes.
But the Dasha avatar, they are the most famous. So we hear the stories of Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
So then Krishna comes as a Varaha and Nrsimha. He comes as Vamana and Trivikrama. He comes as Matsya, Kurma.
So all of these are incarnation of Krishna.
Yes.
And in Dwapar, Krishna came
So that-
as Krishna.
Yes. So they are all forms of Krishna, they are avatars of Krishna. But in the Dwapara Yuga, then Krishna comes as a Swam Krishna. And when that happens, that Krishna comes as a Swam Krishna, then the next Yuga comes as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is very special. So that's our opportunity to take up the bhakti, devotion to Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is preaching. So then bhakti yoga, that's the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the mission of our acharyas. That's the mission of ISKCON as a society, to preach how people can take up bhakti yoga. And the yuga dharma of Kali Yuga, then it's Harinam Sankirtan. So that's the message. That's what we are supposed to be doing. Serving the Lord, and in the capacity of whatever we can, but all based on the Yuga Dharma, which is Harinam Sankirtan.
when you talk to an Indian, let's say now that you're talking to me, you said you said preaching or sharing this knowledge with people across the globe is the mission, right? Now, when you talk to somebody who is an Indian like me, does it make this job easy for ISKCON or for you? Because I said Dwapar, I know about Dwapar. Krishna is a part of our culture, so we know a lot about Krishna. So is it easier when you are preaching Indians as compared to people who are interested in the Western world? Is it slightly easier here?
They know, the Indian people, they know their culture.
Yeah.
No. So it's easier. You could talk
Yeah.
more specific.
It would not be completely alien to them.
Right.
Yeah.
To the people in the West who didn't come across, then you have to explain many things before you can start talking.
Yeah, from zero, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. During the conversation, you use these words, Vaikunt. You said moksha. What is moksha and what is Vaikunt?
See, there is spiritual world and there is material world. Then that's God's creation. So now what we have in the spiritual world, then there are Vaikunta planets. In the material world, then we have the universes, material universes. Now in that, and we are Jiva. Jiva, we are part and parcel of the Lord. But on our own, in quality, we are the same from the Lord. But in quantity, we are like a spark. So we don't have the same qualities to the same extent as the Lord has. We are dependent on Him. But what we have independent is our free will. Lord has free will. He is ultimate free will. Whatever He is wishing automatically happens for Him. He has His energies. Ichha Shakti, Bala Shakti, Kriya Shakti. These energies automatically create all His wish, whatever He wants. Now, we may also wish whatever we want, but generally nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So, now, but Krishna is giving us that the free will, this is our property.
Yeah.
How are you going to use it? You have to be responsible. So, if you wish to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna, then you can be happy. And then you can be placed in the Vaikuntha planet where the Lord, He gives you the unlimited ways how you can serve. So, Lord does the arrangement. But if you think that you don't want to serve, you want to be the Purusha, you want to be the enjoyer, it doesn't happen in the Vaikuntha planet. Because only the Lord Vishnu, Narayan, no, He is the Purusha, right? Krishna, He is the Purusha. And we are the Prakriti. So, if we want to be the Purusha, that means it will be Rasabhas. It won't be possible. So, Krishna is giving us this material world. This material world is something like a playground. Okay? Like you want, for example, no, your child, he may want to become an architect.
Yeah.
Okay? So he wants to build something. But it may not be easy for him to build some, like a skyscrapers over here. But he can go to the beach and then from the sand he can build whatever he wants, right? And when is he going to be there? He's playing. He is happy. And he actually gets so absorbed in the play that he may forget even about you. So we, in the material world, we get here and we get so absorbed in our being Purusha that we forget about everything else. But it doesn't work for us. We go through the modes of nature, sattva, rajas, tamas, out of suffering. So we learn from it.
Yeah.
We learn by it.
Yeah.
But Krishna is always with us as a Paramatma.
Yeah.
So he lets us play here. Like you let your child play, and Krishna is waiting for the moment when we have enough. Like your child knows, okay, no, daddy, well, let's go home. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Okay, so let's go. So when we are tired of the suffering here, of the life here, we just can desire, please Krishna, take me back. I want to go home. We will go. But unfortunately, some people, no, they don't think that they are suffering. But everybody suffers of janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi. There is birth, there is the death, old age, and disease. You cannot escape it. So people, they are very vocative about just to show how happy I am. They put it on the social media. I'm always happy, everything is fine. But they are miserable.
They are not.
People who have money, and the celebrities, they take drugs.
Yeah.
They are suffering. They are miserable in their lives.
In their quest to escape what
Yes.
they're suffering from. Yeah.
They are looking for, they have the money to do anything, whatever they want. But they become just trash.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So that's not the way to happiness. So when the people become honest to themselves, then they can realize, actually, this is not a place to be happy. And if not, then what is the place to be happy? Shastra can tell you. So, taking up service to Krishna, that makes you happy. You try it. You can chant some Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And try. Whatever you do in your life, just no need to change anything right now. Just add Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It will help you to start realizing, who am I? Who is God? Who is Prakriti? And what is my relationship? My relationship with God. That we need to figure out. So, you can start right now. You can do that. And then you will see, like we were talking about the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So, that's a Shravanam. You can take it up. You will get some realization. Start again. And you can chant many, many more rounds. Many more Maha Mantras. And your realization will be getting deeper and deeper.
That was actually my next question to you, which was without how we started the conversation, without quitting this life, the kids, the family, the responsibilities. How can we still be closer to the happiness, the peace that I right now see on your face? How can we experience what you're experiencing in every moment, every day? How can we do this? So, is your answer is to begin with chanting the Mahamantra?
Definitely. But before that, first, make a decision. All you can do, you can desire. You cannot stop desiring, but control your desires.
Yeah.
Desire to know what's spiritual. Desire to know God. And no, don't be attached too much desires to the material world. That's all. Start, at least have little faith. That
But the senses are so powerful.
yes,
It's incredibly powerful. You see something, it attracts you. And yeah,
yeah,
and then
but because you let it and no, you don't control them.
yes, actually we cannot control it. Is the point. So how do we develop this control?
That's not completely true. We can control it, but it takes training. It takes the proper way. Then how we become educated
Yeah.
in the controlling the senses.
Yeah.
Of course. No, if you are not being trained, if you are not willing to, nobody is telling you that you can, then you just go on, and everything is on your mental platform.
So are we now talking about the importance of a guru?
See, you can perceive things either through mind or through intelligence, right? The difference between mind and intelligence is that the intelligence can discriminate. Intelligence will discriminate, this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And it will discriminate based on your learning.
Mhm.
So, Gyan and Vigyan, right? So, whatever you have learned, then you will discriminate. The mind only can see difference between what I like and I don't like. It's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's about the senses. So, if we let the mind guide us in our life, then 100% we will go wrong. Because it's only I like, I don't like. I don't know why am I doing it. And the mind actually abuses the intelligence to get done what it wants. So, to capture the mind, to stop the mind from desiring, we need to engage the mind properly. And that's bhakti. So, devotional service gives the pleasure. Chanting of the holy name gives the pleasure for the mind. Mind remains peaceful, and intelligence can discriminate, lead us to what is right, and protect us from what's wrong.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. What I've understood in the conversation so far is what I could, if I could summarize, for me, I'm sure everybody who will listen to this conversation will take it, perceive it in multiple different ways on the basis of who they are, what's their conditioning, what's their mindset. What I'm able to understand is that, first of all, is of course the food. For me, what I've understood, and correct me if I'm missing any gold nugget that I'm summarizing here. One is the food. So what I'm eating is going to have a huge impact on my senses. And beyond that, everything Western, the template that we put on our mind, everything Western is good. I think we should come back home and see the Indian culture.
Yes.
And Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all of this incredibly rich culture that we have, and start appreciating it and start feeling proud about it, about the culture. And then it may not be necessary to quit everything but you can still continue to be who you are, but be just interested and intrigued by the fact that how can I add to my happiness and my peace, and how can I connect with the ultimate, so that I may eventually, once I'm through, this life is going to end someday. Once I'm through, I may experience moksha or vaikuntha, as you said. And the way to do
Yeah.
it is the Mahamantra.
So, yes, the Mahamantra. And all that should be done in the association of devotees.
In the association, because your environment.
Yes. So all that gets automatically achieved.
Indeed.
And we have many temples. You just come and visit temple.
Indeed. And,
Visit-
and I
visit-
agree with you, because right now, here, my mind is just unable to think of what I have to, the business part of my life. I'm just unable to think about that right now. This environment, this aura is just cutting me off from all the things that I call not just a part of my life, but my life.
Hmm.
And I guess I completely agree with you. To be in that environment, and that could potentially be going to the temple. ISKCONs are everywhere in your city, almost every country, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yes. And if not, then maybe connect virtually, online. Correct?
Now it is possible, yes.
100%. Yeah. So be in that environment, and are you also recommending people to make Bhagavad Gita part of their life, their daily life, at least read it?
Yeah, they should not keep it just in the bookshelf, but rather just read at least a verse a day. That's anybody can do,
Yeah.
and that helps very much to understand what we were discussing, who we are,
But
who is God,
Yeah.
and what is our relationship to God.
Lot of times people say, when they read Bhagavad Gita, they're like, okay, this is what Krishna is saying to Arjuna. This must have been relevant for Arjuna at that time. This is what he's saying to Arjuna. Okay, he said that. Nice, good for Arjuna. And then they read it with this mindset. They're like, okay, how do they connect it to their life, to them today?
By reading the purpose of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. There are explained, that's what we were talking about, the practical explanation. So he is giving us the practical explanation, which can take the knowledge to the Vigyan. So that's why it's important then to read the right Bhagavad Gita. And that's Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Wow. Friends, you have no idea what I'm experiencing right now. And words will always fall short of expressing what I'm experiencing right now. This is pure happiness and peace, joy. There is something amazing. I am completely losing the essence of time. I have no idea how long has it been, this discussion. And this has made me now think a lot of things. Yeah, this is going to change a lot of things about who I am and how I think and what I'm going to do, for sure. And what I'm going to teach to my kid, for sure. And I genuinely hope that this conversation, I'm sure you want me to just go on and on and on and keep on asking questions to him, not stop. I don't want to, but I guess it's time that we take action, that we start understanding, implementing, and going deep into what he has shared with us so far. I'm so thankful to Maharaj for sparing his time and choosing to be here to spread this light, to share this, to put this light on all of us through this conversation. I'm sure you can feel, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, what age you are, what you do, you must have felt better about yourself. This must have had an impact on you. It certainly did on me. On everybody's behalf, on your behalf, I'm sure now that you're listening to me, you want to say thanks to him and I'm going to do it on your behalf, on everybody's behalf. Maharaj ji, thank you so much for coming here today. And making this special would just be an, making it special would be an understatement. It's unbelievable. I said I'm falling short of words before. I'm saying it again. If I'm falling short of words to express my gratitude to you, to help us know who we are and how can we get better, and a lot more things. This conversation helped me and will help all the audience out there. Once again, I want to thank you. Do you want to say any last words to
No.
the people?
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving the opportunity that we can have this conversation. I'm very happy. I'm happy if you can take anything from this conversation. If you can just apply some aspect, anything in your life, at least think about it. Because if you think about it, you may come to the right conclusion, how to apply it, and then you will see your life will turn to better.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
Hare
much for
Krishna.
watching, friends. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.